Roadster, Eugene Driscoll, Tony Spinelli,
Good.
and special guest Chad Jansen from the Valley Independent Sentinel.
So, oh look, we actually all clapped. It's the first time we've ever had a guest on the podcast. Very exciting.
It's very exciting. Welcome.
Thank you.
So Chad is in the office today because he brought by a record called Flood 55 is what it says on the cover. Essentially, it's recordings from the radio station WAVZ in New Haven, what they were recording during the Flood of 55. They're dispatches from different towns where they went into the Naugatuck Valley, and just, calls from people who were out in the street and their accounts of it, sort of play-by-play, really.
Essentially, it's a documentary, a record documentary, and through that interspersed our live reports that the radio station was doing at the time. And what I personally found interesting about it, and we were just talking about this, was the fact that there's a lot of Derby, Ansonia, and Seymour on there, because since the radio station was in New Haven, conditions were so bad, it sounded like you couldn't really get past Ansonia.
Right.
Which is some pretty amazing stuff there. So.
And they had one reporter in Waterbury the whole time.
In an emergency room. And talking
in
to people off helicopters. That was really something.
Right. And they noted that Sikorsky Helicopters in Stratford donated the crews and the helicopters to do the airlifts and rescue people.
And who said that? That was the Derby chief, right? I think it's Mannion, his name was?
Yeah.
Chief Mannion. Yeah, that was something.
So if you haven't yet listened to, we're going to have 4 parts. They're in different podcasts. One after another. We just listened to it. It's about maybe 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. And you can listen to that on the other things. But we're sort of just talking about our impressions of it now.
Yeah, we literally just...
We just listened to it for the first time.
Yeah, I was very impressed, like Eugene said. It was very localized to the Valley as we know it.
As you, if you read through a lot of the stories, like the Hartford Courant did a really good 50th anniversary piece. I know the Register and the Post did some too. If you read those, they're more statewide. They do a lot of, the Post and the Register would do more in this area, but the Courant did Putnam and the other areas that were affected too. So it's sort of refreshing to hear a piece that was really local to where we are right now. We got a lot of detail in there. They had interviewed a guy coming off a helicopter who had just been rescued by crews. I think he said in Waterbury. He was watching crews rescue his wife from, across the river.
Who he thought was lost. And I think, did they not say, the little girl, the 3 or 4-year-old girl who was the first casualty?
Right.
They were on the air 10 minutes after that happened? Is that what he said? Or they filed a report 10 minutes after it happened? Chad, when you just listened to that for the first time?
Yeah, the first time I listened to it too.
How long has it been in your family?
That's a good question. My brother gets a lot of different records from here, there, and everywhere, and I'd have to ask him when he got that record, but I know he's got a couple records in his collection that are more prized than
Has he had that one for a long time, or?
We started collecting a while back with a whole bunch of different Valley things, and people have told us to get a online museum or start our own museum.
Take pictures of them, put them on.
Yeah, we have so much Valley stuff.
So what did you think? That's the first time you heard that. You're a lifelong Shelton resident, right? What did you think of that? What did you walk away?
It's pretty dramatic how they were describing a lot of that stuff that was on there. That part about the water company, I always cracked me up. I remember that from the movie that they had.
And that's the part where they say that everything in Ansonia was destroyed except for the water company.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Tony Spinelli's just running to get a phone. He almost killed him. He said, "Tony, you all right?" He's all right.
So
what's your most prized of all your? You collect Valley stuff, memorabilia.
Yep.
You have a mailbox. This is Sentinel.
The Sentinel. Yeah. What's your most prized? What do you like the most? What's your favorite thing you have of the Valley stuff?
I don't know. There's just so many different things. The most recent thing that I'd find prized, the thing that I just got off eBay. It's a license plate topper straight out of the 50s, and it says Shelton, Connecticut, Industrial City on it. And that's one of my more prized things. I'm trying to get a frame for it and everything, because that's the part of the Valley that I like the most, is the industrial part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that off eBay, you said?
Yeah, and then a lot of it in the video itself, the record, they mentioned all the factories and everything that, that drives home. My grandfather was in the factories, and
Where'd he work? Do you know which factory he worked at?
He was in New Haven Copper Company.
Okay.
And I was surprised that wasn't mentioned in there, but
Yeah.
But I
Did
guess
he tell you stories growing up? I mean, did you hear stuff about what he went through? Or?
He passed away before I really got to know him. My
Mm-hmm.
brother knows him a little more than I did, but I always hear about the factories and a lot of different things from how the Valley used to be a very big factory-related town. So.
And you said your grandmother lived on Derby Ave in Seymour?
Yep.
So was she there the day of the flood? Do you know?
As far as I know, most of the people, that's where the homestead was, and there's a lot of different history in that house there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And your brother's Derek.
Yep.
How old are you, Chad?
I'm 24. My brother is 28.
28. Okay, so a 4-year difference there.
Yeah.
So that was something.
And you got that record on eBay?
I know where he probably got, knowing him, he probably picked that out of some junk
Flea
pile
market?
at some tag sale
yeah,
somewhere.
tag sale in a box somewhere probably.
And got it somewhere? Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
I mean, like, we found this trunk on the side of the road we were going to get just for storage. We opened the trunk up and we ended up finding, like, a whole bunch of different Valley things. Like, there was a tack box in there from the Shell and Tack Company. It's all this weird things, like, this was junk, and we just found all this stuff in there, you know? It's
What road was it on? Like, where was it?
It was
in
somewhere in
Shelton?
Shelton,
Or-
yeah.
Okay.
And it's like, we find all these little things, and it seems so minute, but it's such a big thing, part of the history, you know? And you go look on eBay, and it's like, this is worth this much. Wow, look at that.
If someone was throwing it out. Do you ever see the Valley Community Foundation does each year their annual report? They collect old artifacts, you know, football programs and T-shirts and bells that were whatever, and they put them all onto the cover of their annual report.
I've never seen that.
You should
Yeah,
see
it's
it.
pretty
You would,
cool. We
you
got a
would really
couple
like it.
copies
Yeah, you
in
can
the
take a
corner.
Yeah.
So Jody, you also, as I mean, as I stutter over my words. So tomorrow is the flood began 1955 tomorrow, late night.
Late
right?
night.
Is that-
It started, from what I've been reading, and I've been doing some research for a project, it started like 11 p.m. They started getting reports of flooding like up in Torrington area.
on the 18th of
On the
August,
18th.
1955.
Right, August
Okay.
18th, 1955. Most of the flood experience was on the 19th because that's when everyone woke up, you know, getting woken up by the civil defense, you know, evacuations and that sort of thing. So, and it had been raining, I think, for a couple days beforehand. So, and they were anticipating a hurricane. And then,
Oh, this was the remnants of a hurricane, right?
yeah,
Diana?
sort
Is
of. I
that
guess
what
Diane,
they said?
Hurricane
Yeah.
Diane was off the
Diane.
coast of, you know, Long Island or whatever, and it was just spewing rain at the area. So everyone was sort of saying, okay, the hurricane missed us. It's raining. That's okay. And as they said on the record, like, no one was expecting it to flood.
Totally unexpected.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It was just, you know.
Now, you also have, as part of this package, we're going to try to put together tonight on the Valley Indy, photos that you came across as we wind down.
Yeah.
Tell us about those, how you got them.
I won't even say came across. Last time we were talking about the flood, the Ansonia Senior
On
Center.
a podcast?
On a podcast.
Oh, wow.
'Cause I was reading the
Okay.
Old Sentinels.
Oh, right, okay.
And Maureen at the Senior Center in Ansonia told some of the people there, and Joe Brady brought in some photos he had taken, Ansonia and some in Derby. And I was over there covering an event, and he said, hey, you know, I brought in these photos for you. He let me borrow them. We scanned them in, and they're in a Flickr gallery right now.
Those are, you know, we don't know. Those pictures have probably never been seen before outside that man's family and friends. So, and that record, I don't know if that record's ever been played. I mean, the cool thing about this, and why we're so grateful to you, Chad, is that now we have a chance to put this onto the public record in a digital form where it'll live on YouTube and people can listen to it whenever they want. So yeah, it's just so and I'm sure a lot of people will just love listening to it. That's very compelling.
Especially people that have moved on and don't live in the valley
here.
anymore.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that just does it. That's about does it for episode, 1013 of our weekly podcast. This is my favorite, and I just want to thank Chad so much for bringing that in. That was really cool.
And thank Derek for letting us borrow it. If he even knows. Does he know?
Yeah, he knows.
Not going to get us in trouble, right? And Tony Spinelli for bringing in his ancient record player there. The Caliphone.
An old Caliphone from California.
Oh, the end.